Hey everybody, it's Marshall Monkey here. Let's give my Legends of Tomorrow Season 2, Episode 5 review and rundown. I am catching up with Legends of Tomorrow, so I'm excited for that. But this episode was really good. I think the zombie episode was probably one of my favorites out of the season so far, but this one was actually really fun as well. So let us get started on this awesome episode. So this episode was really good just because I do like what they're doing with the time apparitions. I think that that's really entertaining, going to see different eras of time and learning more about them too. Like I said in my last review, I'm pretty sure now that Rip Hunter's gone, the Hawks are gone, and Vandal Savage is gone, it's much easier to do more fun storylines, especially with some of the characters they've added on, like Amaya and Nate. It's just really interesting to see what they're doing, like how they're making the show better by taking some characters out and putting some new ones in. So I like that. They were in the White House this episode. I really like that as well. I kind of like how they broke into the White House without actually breaking into the White House. I thought that was really interesting as well. And we've seen Ray kind of go through this, like, crisis, I guess you could say. Mick ends up giving Ray the cold gun. Ray wants to change the cold gun up, but can't because it's not the gun that's the problem. It's Ray that's the problem. So we'll see more of how Ray is going to adapt without the Atom suit. But I thought that this episode was really cool to see that kind of start and kind of see Mick take him under his wing just a little bit. Vixen, we end up seeing Amaya find Obsidian. So Amaya goes to this timeline. I think it was, like, what, the 80s, I think is where they were at? And they end up seeing Obsidian, and I can't remember his name. I think his name is Todd, right? So Todd, she ends up finding Todd. Todd ends up telling them about how the Justice Society ended up, ending off, and basically, after a while, they disbanded, I guess you could say. Todd was the only one left, or at least the only one that we saw. And I really do like how they made him an LGBT character. I thought that was really also interesting because it's like, in the beginning I was like, well, why did Todd, what was the reason for Todd leaving? What was the reason for them not needing him anymore? And that's why, at the time he couldn't because he was an LGBT character and there was no equality. So I kind of like that as well. I think that was really cool to explore Obsidian. I hope we explore some of the other characters like Stargirl or Dr. Midnight. I think those would be some characters that would be really cool to explore as well. Damian Darhk was back this episode. I do like Damian more on Legends than I do Arrow, mainly because it's the Legion of Doom and it's not just Damian Darhk. But I did like him being like an advisor in the White House. I thought that was really cool as well. And seeing him throughout his plan. It's kind of cool because we already know how his plan's going to turn out like Sara did. And now we're seeing him develop it, which is really interesting. But I do think it was a mistake for Sara to talk about how his plan, comes to be. Like, what happens about him and his daughter, about his wife dying, about him dying, about Monument Point. I think that all of it was a mistake because now he's going to try to not have that happen, and by him trying to do that, it's not going to happen. So they're going to change the timeline, right? I mean, it's like, if he knows it's going to happen, then why would he just stick around and sit there, right? Why wouldn't he try to change his fate? So I think that for sure, at the end of the episode, when Reverse Flash takes him through time, he's going to try to reverse that. But we're going to see the Legion of Doom. Captain Cold's going to return. Malcolm Merlin's going to show up at some point. So I'm actually interested to see how they tie those storylines together after Damian goes through time with Reverse Flash. I don't know. We'll see how it all works out. I think it's really interesting. So yeah, all of it really great. I thought it was a really great episode. I also do like the side story with Martin Stein and his wife Clarissa. I thought that was also really cool. We got young Martin Stein back, which is always a pleasure. I do think that young Martin Stein's really fun to have on the show, so hopefully they bring him back again. But yeah, everything's great. I think my favorite part, though, was Damian Darhk. And like Sara trying to get his revenge, or her revenge. Sara trying to get her revenge on him, yet she can't because it would, cause so many apparitions. So we'll see what happens. I'm kind of excited to see what's going on with that. But this episode, again, solid. I think it was a solid, good job. I think it was a solid episode, and I think I enjoyed it. But what did you guys think about it? Comment down below. Links up there for my other videos, and links down there to my Twitter, Instagram, Vine, vlog channel, and gaming channel. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.